Workers die in our industry. These people are all fathers, husbands, sons and mates to someone left behind. While a fatality at work may happen in an instant, the impact is felt by the family that is left behind forever. This video shows the impact on one family, the family of Jason Gibson. Their story may have a powerful impact on you. As you watch it, put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, how would my family cope? We would like to thank the Gibson family for sharing their story.
Never, ever, ever did I think that I was going to lose my son. Never, ever did I think.
Probably the happiest memory I've had with my son is probably the day we played rugby together as a family. We played for 5th grade for Belfast, and I was propping and Jason was on the wing, and young Shane, he was playing number 8 that day, and I had my 2 son-in-laws in the same team as well. So that's a day that I really cherish. And I mean, he was a pretty boy. Maybe he should have been a girl, I don't know. But he was a handsome bugger. The woman would walk in, his mum said he was bloody peas around a honey pot, all right. And all the girls loved him, even the old Sheilas.
We were set up on a blind date by a mutual friend who was a stripper. Or should I say, she was a dancer who took her clothes off.
He was a big baby, and when I first saw him when he was a baby, I thought you were destined for great things.
My son was a very, very good tradesman. He was one of the top tradesmen.
I was very proud that he wanted to go into the trade because, as far as I'm concerned, if you've got a trade behind you, you can more or less do anything. Once you get your trade papers and once you work into it, you can go and do anything you like after that because you can always come back to your trade.
And I just remember Annette screaming. Just saying, no, 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 and screaming. I just remember being at the hospital and I just couldn't believe what was happening, and the doctors were talking to us, but I can't really remember anything that they said except that they said he had an 80 or an 85% chance of a recovery.
He rang home here and he said, I've just been told that I'm not going to get any money. He said, I've been told that I'm going to get $152 a week. He said, Mum, how can I look after Holly? How can I look after something? How can I look after my family? He says, when I'm going to get $152 a week. The mother thinks that she should be there to protect him all the time, no matter how old he is, to give him the strength to deal with whatever he has to deal with. And that's when you can't give that, and when you know that no matter what, it's not going to work, it is the most heart pain in your heart. It's a pain in your heart that never goes away. And about 5 o'clock I said to Tony, I've got to go and see Jason. We've got to take Holly up to see Jason. Anyway, I rang him and I says, I know, because she had an ear infection. And I said, I know we can't come in and see you, but I'll bring her up to see you, and you can see her through the window. And you can talk to her through the window.
Holly couldn't come and see him because she had an ear infection. So Tony and Annette took Holly to see him and lifted her up to the window so he could see her.
He stood at the window like a strong dad, smiling and waving. She was dancing for him outside because she loved dancing. So she was dancing around. So about 7 the next morning on Wednesday, got this phone call from the hospital, 7:30 in the morning. I think you better come in, Mrs. Gibson, because your son's in a coma.
Jason had suffered 5 massive brain hemorrhages.
When we had to turn the life support off our son was not a thing we wanted to do. His father had to make a decision to do that. which was the hardest thing for him to do.
Yeah, I've never been scared of much in my life. I've done a lot of things in my life, but when Jace passed away, shit. I mean, and every day is the same. I mean, we think coming up 6 years, and does it get easier? No, it doesn't get easier.
I didn't get to speak to my brother until 2 weeks before he died because we had an argument. But it was more to the point of just, if I'd known, we wouldn't have had the argument. He was my best mate. Sorry. 2 weeks before he died, we got to make up and become brothers again. Jason was the rock in our family. To lose that rock ripped our family for a long time.
Jason and I had a really close relationship. We were like best friends. So when he left this world, it set a big void in mine.
I find it hard every day. I find it very hard, and it's without a word of a lie, every day.
Once we went to a park with the big slide when I was little, and we went down together. And I remember him picking me up from preschool when it finished. And at my preschool there was a little door and a big door. And we sometimes had races who could go through the doors.
And who won?
Me.
Can you remember what he looked like?
He had light blonde hair and blue eyes and glasses. And he was quite tall.
And you miss him, I guess.
By going to his daughter's things at school and sitting there and know that he's never going to see this again.
As Holly grows and she turns 16 or she turns 21 and we're all there to be with her, there's this huge void.
It sort of felt like that we had lost our parents as well. They were just devastated with it.
We couldn't be there for our other children because we couldn't cope with what we was coping with.
It takes someone to actually die before some bugger listens. You know? That's not good. You know? And it just happened to be our son. Hey, mate. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yep.
We don't go to work to die, you know, and once the habit becomes there and once the knowledge of the dangers in everyone's work lives are there, then we can fix it.
It's a wonderful industry. But we need to be more aware of the problems that we come across in our day-to-day process.
You know, if you've got a brother, father, you know, cousin, uncle, just make sure that they do the right thing and keep themselves safe, because it's a terrible thing to go through, knowing that it could have been prevented.
Where you see these young idiots out there making the same mistakes as what we did, and you try and push them to do things right, because at the end of the day, I don't think they understand what it's like to lose somebody that close to you.
Make sure you protect yourself. Do what you can to protect yourself. Even if it's a 5-minute job or a 1-hour job. And if you haven't been, it's not too late to start doing it.
And it's really about making people so aware that it's that important, that it could cause you your life. It's everyone you leave behind who suffers.
You've got to be a strong man or woman, it doesn't matter what it is, to stand up and make sure that your safety is first, and make sure that you are going to be here for the next generation.
He had rung me the night before and he said, "Oh, can you come in tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll come in. I'll come in without Holly." He said, "That's really good because I want to have a talk to you." That was the last conversation we had. I don't know what he wanted to tell me. I think about it all the time.